Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. We're back. We all made it through the weekend. Kind of. I'm kind of tired, I'm not going to lie. We spent the weekend binge watching Lost over in our Discord server, and we made it to like season 2. We watched like 35 episodes. It was glorious time. We will be continuing that for the rest of the week over there. Anyway, I'm here though, even if we didn't get done until like 3 a.m. It was worth it. Lost is always worth it. Good morning, Lady in Gray. Speaking of a fellow binge watcher as well. Well, you guys, so a few things. So this week I'm taking a bit of a light week for Couch Court with Llama. There's 2 shows I'm going to do this week for Couch Court. I mean, all of our other shows are still going to be happening, but I needed to take a break so I could do a bunch of stuff and all that jazz. So today we're reading letters from Chad Daybell, or Chad Dumpshit, as I like to call him, where apparently he's been writing letters to his friends and family from death row. And I think it's his son has posted them on a website for him. And we're going to get into that. There's 5 of them. And I've only read the first one. I didn't read the other 4. I figured we could experience this together. But I'll tell you what, I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed by his bullshit in the first letter. So I'm excited for us to do that today. We're not going to be here for very long at all. I don't think the letters are too terribly long, but knowing Chad, they could be, because he's written like 20-something stupid books. Oh my gosh, if you've never read one of Chad Daybell's books, oh my God, it's the worst. It's the worst. And then Wednesday, we will be back with Couch Court in the afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Eastern for the sentencing of Brooks, Houck, and Joseph Lawson. So we'll be here for a few hours with that. Maybe, I don't know. I imagine a lot of Crystal Rogers' family is going to speak at this one since it's involving Brooks. So I think it'll be a lot longer than Steve Lawson's sentencing was. But that is Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back with Couch Court. Now, what are you going to be doing the rest of the week, Llama? Besides watching Lost, which is high on my list of things to do this week. So Midday Missing is back Monday and Wednesday today, and Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Zoe, we are just outside, babes. You are literally just outside. Go lay down. Thank you. 80s music man says, day 13, I'm getting off this rock, taking my llama who I met with me, stocked up on grass for her. We're gone. Everyone else can stay lost. Yeah, see, it's an epidemic going on in our Discord server. We're all lost over there. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. It just reminds me of 2000s all over again, watching it in real time. I just sat like all weekend. I didn't have my camera on, but I was telling everyone that this is what I look like all weekend. Just in my room by myself, watching TV with my little computer, just like, I know what's going to happen next. Oh my God. You think my face would hurt how much I've been grinning for the last 3 days, because everybody's that's watching it. Mostly everybody's new and has never seen it. And it's such an amazing experience. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend, sir. Hope you had a great weekend. Now, as I was saying, Midday Missing, Monday, today, and Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Terry will be back this week with that. I suggest watching it. Share the information, even if it's not in your area. You don't know. All right. Just by sharing, maybe we can get some families some answers, or people found. You know, it's a hard thing to hold on to hope for that, but not every single one ends badly. So who knows? Maybe you could help them in some way. Now, tonight, you guys, tonight is going to be so exciting. All right. It's going to be so exciting. It is our merch and membership launch party at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I want to tell y'all now, you're going to want to be there for that. And you're going to want to be in chat. All right. Because if you're in chat tonight, you got a chance to win some prizes. Yes, that's right. Some prizes are there to be had. So make sure you're here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central tonight for our merch and membership launch party. Now, I know we already have memberships, but we're actually like redoing all of them. If you already have memberships, you're going to be like getting all new perks with what you do have. So don't worry, you're actually not going to lose anything. You're going to gain a bunch of things, but you definitely want to be here for that tonight. Lady in Gray says, you're laughing at me the entire time. You're laughing at me because you know what is going to happen when I do not. Yes. Maybe that's why I didn't get much work done, because I was just busy sitting on my hands for like 28 hours or something. Good morning, Elbow Feet. Good morning. And then Thursday, True Crime and Wine Time, 8 p.m. Eastern here. We're going to talk about the Leongatha murders, the mushroom murders out of Australia with Aaron Patterson. That trial happened actually the same time Karen Reed was happening for us. Is a big deal over there. And so we put all those notes together because a lot of us were interested but couldn't really, keep up with all the info coming out of their courts because it wasn't televised. Australia, I'm going to need you to fix that. But I need you to fix it real bad because I want to see how things work for you guys too. I find it fascinating. I'd watch it. I'd stream Australian trials. I think that sounds like fun. But anyway, that's what we're covering this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday, if you're a member, all right, we're going to be premiering our show, Too Much Internet, which I'm very excited. It's for members only. It's going to be live Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be doing it every Friday. Mostly for members. The first Friday of every month is for everybody, but every other Friday it's for our members, and it's gonna be fun. It's this week we got me, Terry, Elbow Feet. That's right, Elbow Feet's gonna make an appearance and come out of the shadows, come out of Llama's shadows, and be on the show with us, along with Annie and Cap'n. It's gonna be a fun time. We're just gonna, share fun stuff we find on the internet and just, have fun, because we cover a lot of heavy stuff here all the time. And we're like, you know what? This sounds great. Let's just do this. So if you're a member, again, it's Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Very excited about that. There might be a giveaway or two then too. Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. Well, let's see. Oh, 80 says they have a video game based on Lost. Oh. Okay, yeah, share that. I wouldn't be surprised. Lost was a big deal, you guys. But this is not about Lost, all right? Elbow Feet is going to be on the YouTubes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I was like, you're going to do this. No, I'm just kidding. It was only kind of like that. All right. So let's get into Chad dumb shit, shall we? So let me pull up his little website here. I don't like that one. Too small. We don't need it that small. All right. So this is the website where they're at. I found this on Thursday. I don't know how long it's been up, but I found it on Thursday and I was like, oh, we're going to need to read and talk about these because this guy is crazy pants. All right. I think we're all pretty familiar with who Chad Daybell is, that I don't have to do like a very big recap. But if you somehow don't know, this is Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow Daybell's fifth husband, who is this weird extremist doomsday Mormon weird cult guy. Okay, he writes a bunch of weird ass books and has followers. Anyway, his wife Tammy, dead. All right, Lori's children, JJ and Tylee, dead. Charles Vallow, dead. Oh, did I mention that the children were buried on his farm, on his land? But you guys, he's innocent. He's innocent. He didn't do any of this. And nothing to do with the death of his wife and, running away to Hawaii a month later and getting married to Lori. What? He doesn't deserve to be on death row, I'm sure. This idiot. Ugh, I do not like Chad, in case you can't tell. I don't like him. But then, Llama, why do we want to read this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Llama, because I find this stuff fascinating. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't give them a platform. You should just let them rot away in a cell. And don't worry, he is, guys. He's on death row. All right. But I am always intrigued by what these people have to say. And a part of me thinks he might be trying to recruit new people to grift. And I think we all need to publicly make fun of him. And hopefully that'll discourage people to start following Chad Daybell again. So that's my reason for doing that. Plus, I just want to make fun of Chad because I do not like that man. And yes, Michael, Chad the Potato Head used to be a gravedigger. Oh, Chad. This guy. That's right, you guys. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button so everybody knows we're live. All right. So let's see what this site has to say about us. Oh, I can get rid of that tab. We don't need that. All right. So this is the about page of his website. It's not very long. Don't worry. Don't worry. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning. Yes, Lady in Gray. He was framed. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. All right. So this is a picture of young Chad Dumbshit. It says that this website is dedicated to letters to friends and family posted on behalf of Chad Daybell. Uploads are planned for every Monday and Thursday. Yay us. Yay us indeed. All opinions are Chad Daybell's. Somebody CYN over here. Chad receives no financial compensation from the letters on this website or on the social platforms they are posted on. Why is that? Is it because you're not allowed to? Now, Chad Daybell is currently incarcerated, but is able to write these letters through a process that enables them to be posted. It's called email. Just say that. All right, just say that. Don't make it sound all blue. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. Again, Michael, thank you so much. Be sure to stop by at our new membership merch launch party tonight at 7 p.m. because all the perks are going to be uploaded this afternoon, and you got some new perks coming your way for being a member. So make sure you join us tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay? Good morning, Dave. Good morning. Please let there be no storm. I know, right? Like, I'm very curious of how is he going to blame Lori? What's he going to say? Because he didn't say anything at his trial, obviously. But I need to know, what is he going to say? Is he going to throw Lori under the bus? Is he going to blame everything on Crazy Alex? I don't know, but I am here for it. We are set and ready. All right, so that's all his about thing says. There's a stupid face in case you forgot. And then home is just where they have letters. There is no anything to it. It's a very basic ass website, okay? Now, let's get into letter one, shall we? Let me see. Do I have a layout that maybe makes the... Oh, yeah, but then I'm super tiny. Nope, that's not great. No, we'll just do that one. It's fine. All right. Let's see what Chad has to say, okay? All right. Letter one from Chad on death row, where, he's being persecuted, guys. He's being persecuted. Remember, him and Lori believed that they were deities who have lived millennia together, and through every reincarnation of time, they have found each other because their love is strong and they are important to everything. Remember that. All right, you guys, letter one. Let's get it started, okay? And all snark is welcome in the chat because F this guy. All right. Hello, my friends. This is Chad Daybell writing to you from my cell in Idaho's maximum security institution. Yes. This is the first of several letters I will send. I want to thank everyone who sent me cards and letters while I have been incarcerated. Your kind words of support really helped me. I cherished each one! Exclamation point. And by the way, as we go along, you try to guess what writing level Chad is at, okay? Because it's like, sir. I mean, he's not bad, but it's like, how old are you? And he's a writer. That's the only reason I wouldn't make fun of somebody like that, but he's apparently an author. So have at it, friends. I arrived here at the prison in June 2024, and I suppose you could say I've settled in. As for death row itself, I won't be sharing details about my daily schedule or information about my fellow inmates. As the newest arrival on death row, it isn't my place to talk about such things. Okay. It really is a different world in here, but I'm surviving, and I spend a lot of time working on my upcoming appeals. I mean, that's a good use of your time, I guess, but good luck. I express my gratitude to each of you who have been part of my life. While I was in the Fremont County Jail, I spent thousands of hours in an isolation cell. I wasn't allowed to have a clock, and it often felt like time stood still. What happened to your portals that you and Lori can talk to one another in your dreams? They must not work on when you're in prison, huh? That's weird. During those challenging days, I would reflect on my life, working forward from childhood to more recent years. As memories came to me, I would write down the names of the people who had been positive influences in my life. Suckers is what he thinks, probably. I felt strengthened as I remembered my extended family members, neighbors, co-workers, school classmates, business associates, church members, and friends I have been privileged to know. You have all enriched my life in so many ways. What does he think? Does he think he's winning like some Emmy award or something? Like, what even is that? I don't even know. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's true. That's true. There is a clock. I know, Michael, right? Those pesky portals just having limitations. Oh my goodness. Right. All right. I am using this method to share my story because I want you to receive it uncensored and unfiltered directly from me. Oh, this is already sounding a little culty to me, Chad. Don't listen to what anyone else says. You could only get the truth from me because I am special and I know the truth about everything. You have to come to me for facts. Don't listen to anybody else. I guess old habits die hard, huh, Chad? I am aware of how I have been portrayed in the media. Frankly, those portrayals of me are unrecognizable. I am not the man the media has created. I am not a cult member who should be feared. Chad, it was cult leader, not follower. I am not a conspirator or a killer. I never have been. I am a father, a grandfather, a husband, a son, a brother, and a friend with a firm faith in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Sir. Sir. What? What? He wants a Pulitzer, right? Good morning, Terry. Just in time. Just in time. Your TV was behind. Oh, no. Who's already like, you guys can throw potatoes at him in chat all day. Already, I'm just like, smells like bullshit chat. I have recently been able to have a few in-person visits with several of my family members, and those have been wonderful. I will always be grateful for the unconditional love and support these family members have given me. When people find out that my relatives have visited me, they usually ask them, "How has he changed?" My relatives give the same response. "He hasn't changed. He's the same Chad we always knew." I mean, probably. Kelly's got the tomatoes out. Terry, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this today. I mean, you know what, though? No matter what, we're not having as bad of a Monday as Chad, who's sitting on death row. So just remember that. We're not on death row in Idaho. So where was I? Oh, yes. People are surprised by the answer after hearing a different story for so long. I am still the quiet, gentle person you all know. That's right, guys. Don't be scared of him. Don't be scared. I have always been a peacemaker, even now in prison. Sir, you are on death row. You're by yourself. Who are you making peace with while you're on death row? Get out of here. Get out of here. He's a miracle worker, guys. Miracle worker. Ew, Terry, you had a scorpion in your bed this morning? And you're like, "Llama, come to Texas." What? You're crazy. Yes. Tomatoes, potatoes, all the ADOs. Oh my goodness. All right. You win. You win. All right. He goes on to say, "I have never caused anyone's deaths and never conspired to commit such acts against anyone. I share in your sadness, pain, and grief over the deaths of Tammy, Tylee, and JJ. Keep their names out of your motherfucking mouth, Chad. How dare you?" I don't have all the answers even now, but I'm grateful a more complete story will be shared during my appeals process. Right. I don't know what you think is going to come out in your appeals that didn't come out in your trial. It's not really how appeals necessarily works, but okay. Right? Peacemaker. Oh, but he probably is like, "Well, I didn't actually do it. So like, I didn't do it." Yep. It was a scorpion. Sorry. During my court trial, I followed my attorney's advice to sit quietly, not smile, and not show any emotion as evidence was presented. I know that is standard protocol for defendants in the courtroom, but I realize now that it made me appear to be cold and uncaring, which is the opposite of who I am. I assure you, my heart was breaking many times throughout the trial, and there were moments I couldn't hold back the tears, especially as I saw and heard family members suffering the same feelings of anguish that I was experiencing. Chad. Terry's getting expensive. She's just throwing eggs. She got that egg money. She's like, "I'm throwing eggs at this mofo." I do not like it. Chad doesn't know how they work. No, he does not. A key purpose of these letters is to share with you what I had hoped would have been explained in court over your several-month trial. Okay. I will strive to make each letter informative and worth your time. Good. I fully realize many people will never change their negative opinion of me. Presence? I am here in attendance. In this age of social media, podcast, and the merging of the mainstream media with law enforcement, very few defendants are portrayed in a positive way. All I can hope for is that these letters can begin to generate feelings of healing, reconciliation, and understanding. Thanks again, my friends, for the many ways you have helped and inspired me throughout my life. This guy, what, sir? Oh my goodness, the audacity, right? The audacity of this guy. Oh my God. Maybe Monday wasn't a good choice. All right. Again, this is only letter 1. So we got 4 more after this one. Sorry, I don't mean to stiff a lot. I think I have like a sinus or allergy thing happening. So I'm not sick. It just feels like allergy stuff. My throat's kind of scratchy. My nose, all that fun stuff. So, of course, it'd be like the week I decide not to stream a lot. Yes, if you haven't yet, guys, hit the like button, okay? Maybe. Mimosas for everybody to get through this shit. Okay. This section is titled Bookshelf. When I attended Springville Junior High in the early 1980s, I enrolled in a woodshop class. Oh, just like Jesus. The instructor said we could build anything we wanted. So I decided to make a bookshelf. Okay. I designed it myself, and it was about 5 feet high with several shelves. I was pleased with how it turned out, and over the past 4 decades, that sturdy bookshelf has become our family's most enduring piece of furniture. How hard is it to design a bookshelf? But okay. Beds, sofas, tables, and recliners have come and gone, and people. But the bookshelf has made every move with us, and my son now has possession of it. Nobody wants to buy your bookshelf, Chad. Nobody wants it. Our family's favorite books have resided on those shelves throughout the years, and I'm eager to share the significance of those books in upcoming letters. Oh my God, is he plugging his own books? I think he is. I think he's trying to build some hype. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know, right? Like, right? Probably has nothing to do with it. Barely slept this weekend. One of the most important books I have ever read is Life Everlasting by Dwayne S. Crowther. It was one of the first books placed on my new bookshelf after I discovered the book as a teenager. The book examines eyewitness accounts of more than 200 individuals who have ventured into the spirit world and returned to tell their experiences. Oh boy. Yes, we're still crazy. Yes. It is LDS themed, but the truths it contains apply to everyone. You guys, everyone, that's us too. I will be sharing quotes from it many times in upcoming letters. If you have any interest in where we came from before birth, why we are here on earth, and where we go after death, Life Everlasting provides those answers. Okay. The book was first published in the 1960s, peak cult time. But Dwayne released an excellent updated version in 2008 with 5 additional chapters. I would recommend that version, and you can access it here at this website. Oh boy, where I opened up that tab, we are going to talk about it. I haven't even looked at it yet. So I got it open for us to go back and visit because, okay. I mean, I definitely am going to trust something from a guy named Dwayne. No offense to Dwayne's out in the world. I'm sure you're all awesome and wonderful. But that's not selling it for me. Okay. Maybe he sees himself as the crypt keeper now. Sorry, guys. All right. This section is titled Musical Notes. Well, he's doing his own version of Goodreads, right, sir? Are you an affiliate? Are you an Amazon affiliate for that book? Asking for a friend. All right. I love all kinds of music, and in my upcoming letters, I will sometimes mention songs that have been the soundtrack to my life. Okay. Cool. He's making us a mixtape. Love that. Rather than disrupting the flow of the letter by discussing a song's importance to me at that point, I will include these musical notes afterwards to give added meaning and depth. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Chad. That's what we're all asking for. Most of my memories are tied to specific songs that had an influence on me. However, during my first 3 years in the Fremont County Jail, I rarely heard music. It was a genuine hardship since my life had been immersed in music before my incarceration. Sir, I know y'all got tablets in there. And guess what's one of the things you can get? Music. Okay? Get out of here. Suffering. Suffering, guys. Then, a few months before my court trial began, the jail staff provided a portable radio I could listen to when I was allowed into the jail's ball court. The court was a concrete rectangle with 20-foot high walls that usually blocked the sun, but it was nice to breathe some fresh air. There was a giant communication tower directly above the jail that interfered with that radio reception. But if I stood in a certain spot in the ball court and held the radio at a tilted angle, I could hear a few stations. A country station, an oldie station, and a Christian station called K-Love came in the best. At first, I listened to the other two stations more often, but as I became more familiar with the K-Love songs and their emphasis on Jesus and uplifting topics, I came to rely on those songs to boost my morale. Oh my God, are you guys seeing through this bullshit? I mean, okay. One song that stood out to me was I'm So Blessed by the group Cain. That's an interesting name for a Christian band, but okay. It has a catchy beat, and the lyrics included the phrase, "On my best day, I'm a child of God. On my worst day, I'm a child of God." Those were definitely some of my worst days, but the song helped me remember that the Lord was with me at all times, especially when the going got tough. So if you're having a hard day, click on the link and hopefully this song can lift your spirits. Now we can't play this song. All right. But that's the link right there at the bottom. Cain, I'm so blessed. Now, right. Now I just want to make this perfectly clear. I am going to make a lot of jokes, probably religious jokes at Chad's expense. I am certainly not trying to offend anyone and their beliefs. I don't particularly care either way, but this guy has hid behind his beliefs are not the beliefs of many people in the LDS or other believers. He is hot garbage. So I just want to make that perfectly clear that that is what I will be laughing at and calling bullshit on. All right. Just so we're all on the same page. I know, faith is a very big thing to many people, and that's great, but this guy weaponized this to kill a bunch of people. So fuck him. All right. As Kelly said, this man needs Jesus. But he thinks he is Jesus, Kelly. All right. All right, you guys, we made it through that one. Let's get to letter 2, okay? Letter 2. Oh, my goodness. Oh, fuck him already. I didn't think I was going to cuss this much this early on a Monday, but here we are. Here we are. Letter 2. This letter is devoted to Tammy. Oh, sir. Oh, boy. I loved her, and I still do. She was my life partner and the mother of our 5 amazing children. We built a wonderful family together. We were married for nearly 30 years, and I always sought to keep her safe and protected. She was the anchor of my life, and I never considered harming her. Mother, are you serious, sir? Yeah, sir. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Savage says, some context, it seems Kane is a trio of siblings with the last name Kane. Okay. All right. That does make a lot more sense then. Thank you for adding some context to that band name. That makes a little bit more sense there. All right. Tammy had increasingly severe health issues in the final months of her life, but very few people knew about them. She was an intensely private person who rarely shared personal details with others, much less that her health was suffering. She would put on a brave smile in public and act as if nothing was bothering her, probably because it wasn't. But even those of us who knew about her health struggles never expected her to pass away so suddenly, murdered, and her death has somewhat overshadowed the remarkable woman she was. That's, you know what, Chad, I'll give you this. Yeah, murder victims, usually them being murdered overshadows who they were, because what happened to them is so mind-blowing when it's done by other people that it's hard for us, because you then put the show all on yourself. Oh, yes. Love it. I hate this guy so much. So full of shit. I want you to get to know the living, vibrant, beautiful Tammy, who blessed so many people with her talents and unique traits. She was strong, yet so delicate. We were united in our parenting efforts, our religious beliefs, and in the publishing company we operated together for 15 years. Just dropping that little hint in there, right? She radiated goodness and charisma, generating a positive impact on everyone around her. She was very kind and loving, but especially to children and animals. She was always on the lookout for the underdog who might need a boost in life. Tammy and I got married in our youth. I was 21 and she was 19. And over the years, we essentially became one until Lori came around. We didn't officially meet until after I returned home from a 2-year LDS church mission to northern New Jersey. I arrived back in my hometown of Springville, Utah in July 1989. And a few days later, I saw my brother's 1988 high school yearbook on his shelf. I flipped it open and saw a student spotlight about a girl named Tammy Douglas. As I looked at her face, I felt a jolt of electricity pass through me. Oh my goodness. I think we know that's the storm, probably. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is, right? Yeah, he is. This beautiful girl with a dazzling smile had my attention. I realized she would have been a sophomore when I was a senior, but I couldn't remember her. I wondered how I could find out more about her. And I asked my brother if he knew her, and he said she was working that summer for Springville City. I was in luck, you guys, by the way. This is exactly how all of his books are written. Yeah. It's riveting. And listen, I would love to hear all about Tammy and how wonderful she is. But I don't want to hear it from this guy, because fuck this guy. Tammy later told me she had been keeping an eye on me since her sophomore year, when I was on the student council. She had watched me perform in the crazy skits we did during school assemblies and had also kept track of me in the school halls. She was obsessed with me, guys, like obsessed with me, okay? She could never be afraid of me. She's been in love and obsessed with me for like 30 years, guys. When I was on my mission, she had even told her friends, I'm going to date Chad Daybell when he gets home because he's a catch, ladies. No, not story. Oh, geez. I attended a church activity about a week after the yearbook experience. and I spotted Tammy immediately when I entered the room. She was playing volleyball, so I joined the other team. Soon we rotated and found ourselves 5 feet apart, staring through the net at each other. After a moment, she said, "I'm going to spike it in your face." Oh, I hope she does. I hope she does. I smiled, but the only response I could come up with was, "Oh, yeah?" Very eloquent. I know. Everything about you, Chad, is very eloquent. But in reality, she had left me tongue-tied. Tammy's eyes, Tammy's eyes seemed to sparkle, and I was delighted that this petite, dynamic woman was clearly spunky as well. I was smitten. I wonder how Lori feels about him writing this about Tammy, because I feel like she's a little, crazy. Hi, Motion. Hey, oh, that's right. You did return back to work. I forgot. I was wondering where you were, but I was like, ooh, they must have a lot of stuff being busy and whatnot. But hi, hope you're doing well. Oh, right. Well, we already know that about Chad, right? Riz level over 9,000. Has Lori seen it? I don't know. See, I'm also wondering, like, who's even talking to Lori in jail? Chad has a whole bunch of people talking to him, but I don't know if people are talking to Lori. So I don't know. All right, you guys, he was smitten. When I got home, I couldn't get her out of my mind. So I called her and asked her on a date. I was very relieved and excited when she accepted, and her parents later told me Tammy had happily danced around the living room after she hung up the phone. Our first date went great, and we became inseparable right from the start. We were both attending BYU Provo that fall and working part-time, but we spent every spare moment together. We became engaged to be married the night before Thanksgiving. I had been thrilled to discover Tammy loved music as much as I did, including some alternative bands such as Oingo Boingo. I don't know what that means. Oingo Boingo and Depeche Mode. I mean, Depeche Mode's great. I just was not expecting that to be on Chad's list of bands, but okay. I don't know who Oingo Boingo is. I'm going to look that up later. We love to blast their songs in the car and sing loudly along. As Christmas approached, I told Tammy I had gotten her a gift she would love. But I had discovered she was a bit of a prankster, and I had become her new favorite target. So I decided to give her a little payback. I had been given a pair of really nice writing pens in a small rectangular box. On Christmas Day, I handed her the wrap box, and she eagerly opened it. I kept a straight face as she pretended to be happy about the 2 pens. I said, "I thought you could use them at work. They're really nice." She nodded and said, "Thank you. I love them." She started to put the box aside when I said, "Maybe you should look underneath the pens." And so she removed the pens to find 2 front row tickets to an upcoming Oingo Boingo concert. She left out a relieved laugh, then bowled me over, showering me with hugs and kisses. Oh, the pesky little, oh man. It's Dead Man's Party. Okay, I'm gonna look up them. I don't know who those people are. Oh, you're not. You're not. But yes, be at, and you're also out of spoons. Okay. Yes, be sure to be at our merch and membership launch party at 7 p.m. tonight. There'll be giveaways, all sorts of fun stuff. They wrote the song Bingo. I don't think Bingo was his name. Oh, really? No. Hello, Gabby. Oh, from Flash Discords. Yes, welcome. Welcome. You're from Alternate Juror. Welcome. Welcome to the party. Oh, you sent me a message about, I don't check my phone. Let's see. Hold on. It's non-Oingo Bingo because it should be. What does El Wolfie say it is? What did he send me a message on? Oh, Discord. I have my phone out for nothing. Hold on. He's yelling at me. He's like, Oingo Boingo, babe. Oingo Boingo. I'm sticking with Ongy Bongo. Boingo. No, I'm just kidding. Oingy Boingo. Right? Is that what you said? What? Oingo Boingo. Okay. Anyway, wait, there's a merch party tonight? What? Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah. All right, where were we in this ridiculous thing that we're reading? Oh, there we are. Okay. They played pranks on each other. I mean, a cute story if you didn't suck. We were married in the LDS Temple in Manti, Utah in March 1990, just over 7 months after we met. Oh my goodness. Oof. Okay. We held our wedding reception that evening in the Springville Art Museum, and seemingly half the town showed up to congratulate us. Tammy was a lovely bride, and I felt like the luckiest man on earth. We rented an apartment in Springville, and we really loved being newlyweds. I had a full scholarship to BYU and worked part-time, and Tammy accepted a full-time secretarial position with Springville City that paid quite well, so we felt rich. We loved to eat at several favorite restaurants, go to movies, and just be together. We had a fabulous time at the Oingo Boingo, babe concert. And those first couple of years of marriage, we attended several others, including a very crazy B-52s concert where we danced the night away. Okay, that's a cool concert to go to. I can't believe y'all know who this is, and I don't know who it is. It's fine. Oingo Boingo, babe. All right. Going to concerts continued throughout our marriage, and we would take our kids along as they got older. We also loved to hold family dance parties with our kids in the front room, even after moving to Idaho. Why would moving to Idaho not make dance parties a thing? Like, yeah, you can have a dance party like literally anywhere. Yeah. Even now, the children tell me they'll get it in the car, and certain obscure but meaningful songs will often be on the radio, and it feels like Tammy is saying she is nearby. Maybe those songs on the radio are just a coincidence, but either way, it reminds our children of their wonderful mother and the fun we had as a family. I mean, let's see. I was grateful for Tammy's complete faith and trust in God. In early 2004, I felt we should start our own book publishing company. Okay. I knew it would be a challenge, but I sensed it would be very successful. I told Tammy my feelings, and although she was apprehensive about the idea, she agreed to pray about it. In response, she said she received the strongest spiritual confirmation of her life and that we should move forward with it. Oof, great. Giving Chad more of a platform. We formed Spring Creek Book Company the following month, and by the end of 2004, we had published 24 books by several talented authors. We sold our books in hundreds of stores across the United States, including Borders and Barnes & Noble. Maybe that's why Borders went bankrupt. I love that, Terry. Go for it. Why not? Why not? You can always change it. Go for it. Though in a week, you're going to be like, I hate it. But I say yes. We published several bestsellers, and over the year, we produced more than 100 books by 55 different authors. We won several awards from bookseller organizations, and Tammy deserved the credit. She was the backbone of the company, and she made great things happen through her promotional ideas and internet marketing. Tammy's mom, Phyllis, joined the company as our lead salesperson, and the two of them were a dynamic duo in selling books. What did you do, Chad? Like, you're like, I'm just the face. I'm just going to talk about it. I'm going to have my wife and my mother-in-law just do all the work for me because I got to be the face of everything. I will stop here, but in the next letter, I will discuss our family's move to Idaho in 2015. Well, we'll be reading, Chad. We will be reading. Oh, another section titled Bookshelf. Okay. One of my duties as the editor-in-chief of Spring Creek Book Company, this guy was an editor-in-chief. Have you read his stuff? Oh, my goodness. Okay. I would never. One of my duties as the editor-in-chief of Spring Creek Book Company was to sort through the many manuscript submissions we would receive. On the company website Tammy had designed, she had created a section on how authors should format their manuscript and the types of topics our company was looking for. As our success grew, we were receiving dozens of manuscripts each month. Most of them were probably Chad's. There were a lot of aspiring authors out there. However, we only had a few openings each year since many of our authors were writing additional books. But I still looked at each submission just to make sure we weren't missing a diamond waiting to be discovered. I would take the most promising ones home for Tammy to read through, and this team effort worked well in maintaining a high level of quality in our books. It was hard to send rejection letters to those authors we didn't select, but I tried to recommend other publishers who might be a better fit for the books. Carol. Yes, right. You don't want to give Chad's page a click? Agreed. We will do this one so we can all be on the same page, because what hot garbage is this, Carol, right? Am I right? Okay. As our success grows, oh wait, no, that was the part I was just on. Sorry. One day, I opened a manila envelope and pulled out a manuscript that immediately caught my eye. It was the story of Willard and Rebecca Bean, who were asked by LDS Church President Joseph F. Smith in the early 1900s to serve a mission in Palmyra, New York, the birthplace of Mormonism. The problem the Beans faced was that the church members had left Palmyra many years before, and the townspeople certainly didn't want them to return. But the Beans moved to Palmyra, endured initial persecution, and slowly began mending fences, literally and figuratively. Over time, they helped turn around the negative feelings there, purchased historic locations for the church, and finally concluded their mission more than 2 decades later. The manuscript, written by Rand Packer, was powerful and inspirational. I couldn't put it down. It was one of those rare moments as a publisher when you feel, whoa, this is great. I need to sign this book immediately. I mean, that's what I was thinking. I don't know about you guys, but riveting. Maybe you would have published my book. I don't think arts were what they were looking for. The book's title is A Lion and a Lamb, referencing Willard as the bold, sometimes brash lion, with Rebecca as the wise, sweet lamb who won over the townspeople with her kindness. I took the manuscript home for Tammy to read, and she was enthusiastic about it. We both knew it would be a bestseller. I contacted Rand the next day, and when we met, there was an instant connection, like meeting a dear friend. So they're like, let's just do like Mormon-esque fan fiction. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna write fan fiction for all of this. It's very weird. It's very weird, but okay. We signed a publishing contract and put the book into production. The initial sales were strong, but then it just kept selling year after year, especially in the LDS bookstore in Palmyra itself. Word of mouth was strong, and rightly so, because it is a genuinely great story of faith and perseverance. During this same time frame, the accomplished LDS filmmaker T.C. Christensen had released several successful high-quality movies, and he was interested in producing one based on A Lion and a Lamb. The film's title would be The Fighting Preacher, after Willard Bean's tendency to use his fist as well as his tongue to preach the good word. Riveting. A film deal was reached, and in July 2019, the movie had its world premiere in Salt Lake City. Well, no shit. I didn't see that coming. Okay. Tammy and I were invited as guests at the first screening, and we were very pleased with the film. It has all of the elements of drama, humor, and heartfelt emotion that are trademarks of all of TC's films. The Fighting Preacher had a long run in theaters, a rarity for LDS films, and is now available on streaming services. Another plug. Who wants to bet that he somehow gets money from a deal? After the movie premiere, Tammy and I were invited to meet TC and the film's actors. Rand was there, and we shook hands and smiled at each other as if to say, "Can you believe where that little manuscript has led us?" We felt humbled. We had played a role in bringing the Bean story to the world. Oh, I'm going to click this link. Where is it taking us? Oh, to the book. The book. Oh, it's apparently a true story and not a historical fiction. I don't know. We'll get into that later. How do you use this fist? Yeah. All right. His next one. Oh, it's musical notes time. What song is he gonna recommend us? Is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Oingo Boingo Babe? Maybe. Let's find out. All right. Musical notes. Despite my love of music, I don't play any instruments because he's not talented at anything. And my singing skills are barely adequate, so is your talking. I took piano lessons for about a year when I was 8 years old, but I was much more interested in learning to play baseball, and my blossoming musical career came to an end. Meanwhile, Tammy had a natural talent for playing instruments. Looks like Tammy is way too cool for you. She first learned to play the clarinet. Oh, me too. Then she switched to drums when she was part of the Springville High School marching band. When our children began taking piano lessons, Tammy joined in and took lessons at the same time. Thankfully, Tammy's musical abilities have been passed down to our children, who all followed in her footsteps of learning to play the clarinet. As the 5 kids worked their way through Springville Junior High, Tammy and I enjoyed a decade's worth of seasonal band performances. Sometimes those are tough. Toward the end, we knew those songs pretty well. We were grateful to Mr. Booth, the band instructor, for the positive influence he was on our children. Some of our children had reached out to the synthesizer, guitar, and singing, and they have produced some wonderful songs. Oh, they have a family band. Okay. In our family, we have all different musical tastes, but one musical group we are united on is the British band. Is it Kanye or is it Keen? Either way. And guys, I did not read these ahead of time, so I have not looked to pronounce things, but that's fine. I'm going to get another message from Elbow Feet and be like, it's blah, 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 babe. Oh, Gracie says, oingo boingo. I'm just kidding. It is from the movie Weird Science. They did the soundtrack. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that. I haven't seen Weird Science since it was like on TBS in early 90s, probably. Woo, what a callback. All right. So they're into this British band, Kanye. I don't know. With Tom Chaplin on vocals, Tim Rice Oxley on keyboard, Richard Hughes on drums, and Jesse Quinn on guitar. Their songs just, Wolfie just sent me a message. Hold on. Their songs just clicked for us. Tammy and I attended the band's first Salt Lake City concert and loved it. And from then on, hold on, let's see what Elbow Feet says. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fucking Keen. It's one of my favorite bands. And I was literally just singing it the other day. No. You know that song somewhere? Only we know? Yes, babe. Okay. That was the voice memo I just got from him. So it's Keen. He's losing it while he's at work today. Anyway. After we moved to Idaho, we still traveled back to Springville regularly. Keen was an essential part of our road trip set list. I believe Keen is currently on hiatus, but our family will always be big fans. One of Tammy's favorite Keen songs is Spiraling, which she loved to sing and dance along with. Enjoy. Well, we can't listen to that song because YouTube doesn't like it. She acts like she has never heard of anything. In fairness, Elbow Feet, I can't hear music in my head. Okay? We are not the same. And so it doesn't always stick. If you played this song, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, I know that song. Anyway, that's why he loves me. All right, so that was letter number 2. If you guys don't mind, I'm just going to come off the screen for just a few minutes. So I can go refill my coffee because my throat is very dry. And we will pick back up with letter 3. So just uno momento for just a second, okay? All right. All right, sorry about that, friends. Thank you for being patient. I had this glass jar that was up on the shelf that fell down. I was getting my coffee. It didn't break, thank goodness, but I think it might be Chad coming through a portal to get back at me for reading these. So, all right, where were we? We're on letter 3. And by the way, if you enjoy Elbow Feet's banter, he is going to be on TMI this Friday, our members only show that premieres. So you can see the guy behind it all. Oingo boingo, babe. I'm just going to yell that at him all week. It's going to be fantastic. She's like, hey, babe. I'm like, what? I'll be like, oingo boingo, babe. All right. Letter 3, you guys. We have 5 of these. So, letter 3. My previous letter concluded with Tammy and I moving with our children from Utah to Idaho in 2015, and I will continue from that point. Okay. We bought a home north of Rexburg in an area known as Salem. Our children were enrolled at either BYU, Idaho, or Sugar Salem High School, and they made some wonderful friends. Tammy also flourished in our new surroundings. She loved the rural lifestyle with plenty of property to create her own little farm. It's going to be an hinge, She'd always had a soft spot in her heart for animals, but in Springville, we'd had a small yard that limited the types of pets we could have. So it's not really a farm, Chad, then. Okay. Oh, never mind. That was when they were in Utah. Scratch that. However, soon after we arrived in Idaho, Tammy began to assemble an ever-growing family of pets, including chickens, pigeons, cats, a rabbit, and, of course, Tammy's favorite pet, Indian runner ducks. She named them all and enjoyed caring for them. She also created several garden areas around the property she would carefully maintain. Is this where the kids were buried? Because if so, I hate him even more for ruining her garden, if that's where it was. How dare you? After moving to Idaho, Tammy and I stayed busy running our publishing company. I was the president and editor-in-chief, because he did nothing, while she was the vice president and chief financial officer, who was really doing everything. I was also making good money writing a weekly online column, along with receiving royalties on my published books. We felt blessed. So Tammy didn't need to work beyond her company duties, but several years earlier in Springville, she had taken a part-time position as the computer lab teacher at our children's elementary school. She loved working with the students, and the job was very rewarding to her. When we prepared to move to Idaho, Tammy looked for a similar position, and she was hired as the assistant librarian at Madison Middle School in Rexburg. She was later hired as the librarian at Central Elementary in Sugar City, which was much closer to our home. She also took on the task of creating a computer lab at the school, modeled after the one she'd had in Springville. I would visit Tammy at the elementary school every couple of weeks, and I helped her out during open house events such as back to school night. It was fun to be greeted by the students as Mrs. Daybell's husband. Oh, pardon me. Pause for a second because Zoe needs to go outside for some reason. Uno momento, friends. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Tammy had always strived to be physically fit, and in Idaho, she turned part of our front room into her workout area. She enjoyed doing yoga, and she liked to play several exercise video games such as Just Dance, Walk It Out, and Exerbeat. It wasn't until the final year of her life that she started having noticeable physical setbacks. She caught a cold during the holidays and battled chest congestion and deep cough throughout early 2019. She was also experiencing menopause symptoms with regular hot flashes. Sir, I mean, I know that's not great. My friends have told me that before, but like, don't act like she's dying because of menopause. Like, what? Ugh, okay. She was now 48. Oh my goodness, she's close to just being done at the end of her life. 48. Oh my goodness. She was now 48, but she said she felt she had aged 10 years in just a few months. Her exercise routine faded away, and she became content to just sit on the couch, watch TV, and work on her laptop. You know, I wonder, isn't that, oh, it is, you guys, isn't that when Chad and Lori started talking to each other and he was gone all the times at these conventions where Tammy stayed at home and he spent all this time on the phone and sending emails and all of that? No, this is definitely happening because of menopause, right? Not Chad's, adultery action that was going on that she probably picked up on because she's not stupid, Chad. But you probably tried to gaslight her. Right? 48 with terminal menopause. Lady Grace says maybe the stress of having a loser husband was starting to wear her down, right? And also a loser husband who is messaging, because we know that from court, with Lori, writing her stories. Ugh, weird stories too. Maybe sometime we'll read the stories that him and he would write for Lori. They're gag worthy. They're bad. My children and I encouraged Tammy to visit her doctor for a full health exam, but she resisted going. She had grown up with a firm belief in using holistic medicine and natural healing remedies to regain her health. It kind of sounds to me like she's a little depressed, okay? It's not that big of a deal, Chad. I had seen these methods produce many positive effects over the years, with Tammy having rapid recoveries. But this time seemed different, as if something had shifted within her body. Oh my goodness. Let's hear what Dr. Chad has to say. I regret not being more insistent in having her get a physical exam because there were 4 major reasons for concern, and they all got worse as 2019 progressed. And he's so concerned that he didn't have her autopsied or anything, to find out if this is, something hereditary that could be passed to the children or anything like that. He's so concerned, you guys, so concerned. First, there were Tammy's lengthy colds and prolonged coughing fits. Second were her lethargy and overall lack of energy. This wasn't the same woman who could work in the garden and care for her animals all evening without stopping. She began using the phrase, need to sit down, almost daily after any sustained physical activity. The third reason for concern were her swollen joints and bloating in her abdomen. Tammy initially tried to brush off these symptoms as temporary water retention, but they never went away. One day, she came up to me and partially lifted her shirt. She grabbed hold of her belly and said, "Look at this. I can almost hear my guts sloshing around." Or maybe she's 48 years old and menopause, your body changes. That's what happens to women. It's not, your hormones all over the place. Your body's changing. You don't have as much energy because you're also getting kind of, older. So, okay. Around the same time, Tammy and my son attended a health wellness fair. They were examined by a nurse who was bothered by how swollen Tammy's legs were and that she had developed varicose veins. The nurse urged her to see a doctor about it, but Tammy refused. She finally admitted that her condition might be more serious when she called me into the bedroom one afternoon. I found her sitting on the edge of the bed, wiping away tears from her eyes. It was late August 2019. By the way, she's going to be dead in 2 months. And the new year was about to begin. But yeah, at this point in August, Charles Vallow, is dead. And the kids are about to be, and then Tammy is next in October. I mean, I don't know. They do crazy things sometimes. Oh, Zoe. All right, hold on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right. Hopefully she's not going to have to go to the bathroom again. It's been like 3 times since I've been awake. His truth telling is justification. All right. So she's in the room. She's crying. He says, it was late August 2019, and the new school year was about to begin. As she sat on the bed, she had a pair of pants halfway up her legs. She said, these pants fit me just fine at the end of the school year. Now I can't even get them over my hips. Girl, same. Okay, same. All right. I'm getting older. My body changed a lot last year. All right. It happens. It happens. It's okay. It's okay. The fourth cause of concern was a series of fainting spells. Tammy felt her equilibrium was being affected as well as her stamina. I literally told him I wasn't available until after 1. It wasn't unusual to find her in the kitchen with both hands on the counter with her head down. She would say, I'm okay. I'm just a little dizzy. Was she eating? Because it seemed like she is very self-conscious about her body changing. Like, was she even eating, or was this, something else? I don't know. Chip hips. I got me those chip hips. I'm not even sad about it. Motion's like, I'm like 10 minutes behind and losing it. I do know who Danny Elfman is. I did not know that was his band. So that's interesting. I did not know that. He is the best. Danny Elfman is the best. But while I'm working on stuff for tonight, I will listen to Oingo Boingo Babe. I'll do it for all of you guys. Okay. Tammy's first major fainting incident happened in April 2019. She had finished putting the animals away for the night, and as she crossed the back driveway, she blacked out and crashed forward onto the asphalt, injuring her wrist. She came into the house and explained what happened, saying her wrist might be broken. I urged her to go to the emergency room, but she refused. She took an herbal remedy instead, and the pain went away in a few days. What? Okay. Is anyone wondering too, maybe he was poisoning her a little bit? I mean, maybe there's a real illness going on, but this doesn't sound a lot like, I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm not a freaking doctor, but I don't know. That summer, we went to the LDS temple, and during one of the ceremonies, Tammy fainted, collapsed backwards, and then threw up all over the front of her dress. She was very embarrassed as the temple's medical team rushed into the room to care for her. In September, she essentially repeated her fall in the back driveway. She fell in almost the exact spot and re-injured her wrist. This time, she didn't object when I insisted on taking her to the doctor, who prescribed pain medication and gave her a wrist brace to help heal the damage. I suggested she take a couple of school sick days to recuperate, but she shook her head and said, no way. You know how much I hate a substitute messing up the library. I'll just sit there if I have to. Okay. From that day on, the setbacks came more frequently. Her nose was running constantly and she would have sneezing fits. She also began to complain she was having out-of-body experiences. She described how her spirit would hover over her body for a few seconds at a time. In early October, one of those incidences happened while I was in the living room and she was in the kitchen. I suddenly heard a loud crash and I rushed into the kitchen to find Tammy had actually fainted into the open fridge. She had landed hard against one of the shelves and was slumped down in the bottom half. I helped her stand up and told her I was very worried about her. She just waved her hand and asked me to help her lay down on the couch. The days before she passed, she came home completely worn out from setting up the displays for the school's upcoming book fair. That evening, she told family members she wasn't feeling well and later had a bad coughing fit before throwing up. We went to sleep, and when I woke the next morning, she had passed away. I will describe that terrible morning and subsequent events in a future letter. Oh, we'll be waiting, chat. We'll be waiting, because this kind of sounds like bullshit to me. Okay? But as word spread of her death, everyone was devastated because she had been such a powerful, wonderful influence to so many people. We all feel that loss every day. I miss her and love her. Chad, go fuck yourself. Get out of here. Tammy was a true angel on earth, and I know she is still watching over our family. My children and I have felt her presence many times since her death. We sense she is particularly interested in her precious grandchildren. We believe families can be together forever in heaven, and although she has moved on ahead of us, we know we will be reunited with her someday. And I am sure she's going to be very excited that Lori is invited to that party too now. So great. All right, let's see what you guys are saying over here. You sprained your wrist watching women's volleyball. Dave, behave, Dave. Lady in Gray says, I can't remember. What did their kids say about her health? Her sister said she was fine. I mean, none of the kids really lived at home, if I remember right. I don't know if they still did or not. I don't think they, maybe one, but I don't think so. Hello, Misbehaving. Hello. I mean, here we only have Chad's word on the thing, right? I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying this story because she keeps saying she's fine. And he keeps being like, I think you should go to the doctor. I think something wrong, which, okay. I'm that person too that's like, I don't want to go unless I'm dying. I hate it. All right. I have serious medical phobias. Don't love it. But I feel like at some point with the fainting and whatnot, I mean, why wouldn't Tammy want to go get it checked out? I don't know. I'm not buying this for 1 second. I really am not. Did she happen to find a small crash plane full of statues before this started? Like, I'm wondering, like, could she have been being drugged? I mean, maybe it was physical stuff, right? Maybe she was sick. Zoe, you can go lay down, ma'am. It's not happening. Not happening. Go lay down. Oh my goodness. But I don't know. I don't think that's what killed her. So I know he's very anger inducing man. Lady in Gray says, that's what I think too, Llama. This is Chad's story. It's Chad's story, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, what we do know, like maybe she was a little sick, but I think she probably knew something else was going on, whether she admitted to herself or not. Zoe, go lay down, please. Ridiculous. I mean, she had to have known in some way. Maybe she didn't know, but I don't know. And menopause does crazy things to women's bodies, you know? Like, it can do all sorts of things. Getting pregnant can change your whole body, and you're still paying for it, a whole year later. So, I don't know. But it's also interesting. She has this mysterious illness that he wasn't catching. Okay. So, it's not like it could have been like, COVID or something, like that, or he didn't seem concerned about why she died, how she died, if it was contagious, if it's hereditary. You seem to really not care about figuring out this mystery, Chad. So, and remember, he did not get an autopsy for Tammy. So, Tammy was buried, and they exhumed her just a few months in December after she died. So, lay down. All right. Okay, you guys, bookshelf time. Bookshelf. Members of the LDS Church seek to find their ancestors because we believe that if people don't learn about the gospel of Jesus Christ in this life, they will have the opportunity to do so in the spirit world after they die. We believe they will be able to reunite with their loved ones there and live as families in heaven. That's why the LDS Church builds beautiful temples across the world, so gospel ordinances can be performed in half of our ancestors. Yes, girl. Yes. Throughout the 1990s, there was a key focus for us in our extended family members. We completed the temple work for hundreds of ancestors over a period of years. Then later on, we discovered that a woman named Rachel Marler had been overlooked in our records. Several years had passed since the temple work had been done for Rachel's parents and siblings, and we sensed she was very anxious to join her family in paradise. Okay. We submitted Rachel's name for temple work, and when family members performed ordinances in Rachel's behalf, they could feel her presence in the temple as if she was watching them take place. What does this have to do with books? Oh, I'm sure we'll find out. The unusual part came 2 days later when Rachel appeared to Tammy's grandma, Lucille. Rachel stood at the end of Lucille's bed as a spirit dressed in white, and she told Lucille how grateful she was that she could now join her family in paradise. One interesting fact is that soon after Rachel visited Lucille, we found an actual photo of her taken in the 1800s. Oh my gosh. Lucille saw the photo and verified that the woman in the photo was the same woman who had appeared to her in her bedroom. That is why I wrote Chasing Paradise. The main family has the last name of Marler, and why Lucille plays a key role. As I wrote this novel, it evolved into a full-blown adventure that takes place both on Earth and the spirit world, as a woman seeks to reunite with her family in paradise. Oh, another book plug by Chad, in case you were wondering. And in musical notes, let's see what Llama is gonna mispronounce now. Okay. Tammy and I enjoyed taking our kids on several day trips each year. I don't know why it's in quotes, but okay. One memorable trip was when we decided to visit the city of Preston, where the ultimate Idaho movie, Napoleon Dynamite, was filmed. Our family has watched the film often enough that we can quote the dialogue by heart, as many of us probably can. Because I yell at Zoe all the time. Tina, you fat lard. You're not going out. My kids see our pictures from the 1980s and are sure they're from the 1800s. I love that. Zoe, you're not going outside. I don't care. For this little adventure, Tammy printed off an online guide and map that showed the location where key scenes took place. We drove slowly past the downtown landmarks, then stopped to take photos next to Napoleon's tetherball pole. Finally, we began our quest to find the Dynamite family home. It was surprisingly quite a ways out of town, but we found it. Honestly, this sounds like a pretty cool trip. I'd probably do that if I was in Idaho. Growing up, the song Private Idaho by the B-52s was my main connection to the Gem State. But that song is clearly not a fair representation of the lifestyle or the musical taste of Eastern Idaho, where Rexburg is located. Okay. A better fit is Tim McGraw's Where the Green Grass Grows. People can like all sorts of things everywhere, Chad. Just replace the line about his corn popping up in rows with spuds, and it works. Okay. I love driving in my truck along the Fremont County back roads with the windows rolled down, potato fields on every side, and the Grand Tetons in the distance. I just remembered one detail. It snows about 9 months out of the year. Yeah, that is how weather works in Idaho, Chad. Yeah. But we certainly stayed busy during the winter. Our youngest son was in the high school pep band and was also a star in the school musical. And it was fun to watch him as we sat among our friends and neighbors. I also enjoyed hearing from the Sugar Salem athletic teams. What does this have to do with music, Chad? Then the snow would melt for a while and we would explore the outdoors, such as Mesa Falls or float down the Henry's Fork River. 3 of my children are raising their families in the Rexburg area, and I'm grateful my grandchildren will grow up in a peaceful place with good people where the green grass grows. His kids are still living in that small town. Ooh. Yikes. Wonder what that's like. Yikes. Kelly's angry. Keep Tim McGraw out of your mouth. He is such an idiot, isn't he? Oh, they did not, Lady and Gray. They did not. 3 of the, how many do you have? 5? I think it's 5. 3 out of the 5. Still in Rexburg. All right. There's letter 3. Let's do letter 4. We got 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Okay. I think we're going to have to make this like a once a month thing. If he's supposed to do every Monday and what was the other day? Thursday, I think he said. We can let these build up and read these bad boys once a month. Because even though it makes me angry, it brings me lots of joy. Lots of joy at the same time. So, did they at least change the kid? Nope. I don't think so. Well, I mean, their kids might have different last names. Anyway, go lay down. Go lay down. No. Go lay down, please. You're being ridiculous, Zoe. All right. Letter number 4. Okay. This letter begins with a key event in my life that occurred in 1987, early in my LDS mission to New Jersey. Oh, man, I think this is going to be a near-death experience story. I think it is. Stop being the way. She's being ridiculous, though, Terry. She's been outside 4 times in the last hour and a half. She doesn't need to go. She's fine. She's mad at me because I'm not in bed with her like I was this weekend. That's what she's doing. She's punishing me. You've met her. Okay. All right, guys, buckle up. This letter begins with a key event in my life that occurred in 1987, early in my LDS mission, to New Jersey. I was part of the first group of Spanish-speaking missionaries called to the New Jersey Morristown mission. We would be sharing the gospel message in some rough urban areas where LDS missionaries had rarely ventured before. My mission began with 9 weeks of training in the Missionary Training Center in Provo, Utah, after which our group of 6 missionaries flew to Newark International Airport. We soon met our mission leaders, Dan and Barbara Workman. We immediately felt their love and concern for us, which continued throughout my life. Thank you, Sister Workman, for your recent letter I received here in prison. Even now, you show such Christ-like support and care for your missionaries. I'm grateful for you. Okay. The next morning, President Workman introduced me to my first companion, Elder Hansen, who would function as my trainer during my first couple months in New Jersey. All male LDS missionaries use the title of elder, while female missionaries go by sister. Elder Hansen was a confident Californian who spoke fluent Spanish, while I was a timid teenager from a small town in Utah. He was the right companion to help me cope with the culture shock I was experiencing. Our proselytizing area was the industrial city of Patterson, and I soon learned the citizens weren't always friendly. As Elder Hanson and I walked through the city on the way to an appointment, I waved to a man sitting on a porch step. About 15 seconds later, a couple of apples came whizzing past our heads. What? Apple throwing? Then, a block later, I waved to two young boys, and they both threw a glass bottle at me. I decided waving to people might not be the safest thing to do. Who throws apples at people walking down the street? Where's Lainey, our New Jersey representative? Next time we see Lainey, be like, what's the deal with throwing apples at people? According to Chad. But it's probably just because you're Chad. You didn't know it yet, but nobody really likes you. To reach our appointment, we had to walk through one of the city's most dangerous areas. Ahead of us, a gang of teenagers were taking up the whole sidewalk. Oh my goodness, the horror, the horror. I was praying hard for protection, and somehow we made it around them with only a few snide comments. I didn't wave. Right? Misbehaving says, I don't like this work thing on Mondays either. We should be able to stay in bed all day with our fuzzies. Yes, I agree. Misbehaving, I agree. What was he waving at them? Who has Apple money? Motion says. We finally reached our destination and knocked on the door several times, but no one answered. I suddenly felt exasperated and overwhelmed, and it must have shown on my face. Elder Hanson stuck his index finger to my chest, pushed me against the wall, and said, "Don't start having doubts, man. You know this is the true church and that Joseph Smith was a prophet. Are you going to let a bunch of losers on street corners change your mind? I thought you were bigger than that." It seems like quite an overreaction to what we just heard. Like, why you gotta be so aggressive, Elder Hanson? Like, calm down. Jeez. Ooh. Anyway, then he started walking back to the street. I was humbled and humiliated, but I caught up with him. And also, I think calling them a bunch of losers isn't very, Christ-like, but it's not my circus, not my monkeys, is all I'm saying. So just interesting that was his commentary on teenagers who are also children. And there was a certain song we had in church. So I'm just saying. Anyway, again, not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't care. We didn't say a word to each other, but he had made a good point. An image of the Apostle Peter denying Jesus Christ came into my mind, and I suddenly felt very ashamed. When we reached our apartment, I went into our tiny bathroom and said a fervent prayer to Heavenly Father, apologizing for my weaknesses. Then I gave thanks for the prophet Joseph Smith, and suddenly my mind opened up. It felt like I was actually witnessing the first vision when Joseph, as a 17-year-old boy, saw and talked with Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ. I felt the Spirit of God burning within me, and I knew without a doubt this event had really happened. Okay. That day, I had experienced fear, exasperation, and even doubt. But then I received an outpouring of truth and comfort. You guys, he had apples thrown at him, bottles. The teenagers were taking up the whole sidewalk. He's persecuted against, just like Jesus. I'm so sorry. I'm a distraction motion. Yeah, you guys, that right there made him feel ashamed, gave him visions. And he even said that really happened, like one of those people like, I'm 100%. I never lie. I'm not lying. It's very, very much the truth. Okay. Gal does proclaim too much, protest too much. Okay. We had a bold, powerful group of missionaries, and we accomplished much good in that area. Elder Hanson and I eventually became close friends, and after our missions, we stayed in touch. He later moved to Colorado, where he became a successful businessman, and he and his wife raised a beautiful family. Why did I share that experience with you? That is what we're wondering too, Chad. Please tell us why. Well, because from that day on, I have been completely devoted to the LDS Church. I have served in many different callings, including being part of 4 different bishoprics. During that time, I was asked to assist with several church disciplinary councils that were held for members who wanted to clear up misdeeds in their lives. These meetings usually began with some awkward feelings, but I was amazed to watch loving church leaders turn the meetings into positive spiritual experiences. Expressions of support would be given and tears would be shed, and the person would feel a sense of relief, like a great burden had been lifted. It was inspiring to watch a humble church leader help a person who felt desolate and alone regain hope and faith through the atonement of Jesus Christ. Or just talking about things just helps people, but okay. With that said, with that background, it is true I am currently excommunicated from the LDS Church. Yeah, Chad. Yeah, because they're like, you are crazy pants. Sadly, I didn't receive an opportunity to have a compassionate church leader hear my side of the story. Okay. I would have happily welcomed a visit from my church leaders during my 4 years in the Fremont County Jail, but no one ever came. Instead, I learned I had been excommunicated through the mail more than a month after the disciplinary council had taken place. Oh no. Wonder why that is. At the jail, the deputies would put any mail addressed to me in a big manila envelope, which was held until my attorney's next visit. He and I would sort through the mail together. When he visited me in September 2020, we emptied the manila envelope, and among the letters were 2 envelopes from my LDS Church stake president, my local leader. I'd had a good relationship with him over the years, and I initially expected these envelopes to contain letters of kindness, support, and encouragement. You guys, why are they just not understanding Chad and his way of thinking? I mean, where is all the support of his community? He's baffled. He cannot fathom, like, what? It's because everybody stopped believing your bullshit, Chad. That's why. Because the evidence really did speak for itself in this case. There's not really a whole lot of room for theories and speculation on either of him or Lori's case. So let's see, where was I? However, I opened the first envelope and read a printed form letter informing me a disciplinary council would be held regarding my church membership. It felt like an arrow had pierced my heart. I took a deep breath and opened the second envelope. This letter said that council had been held and I had been excommunicated for apostasy. The letter stated I had 30 days to appeal the decision, but by the time the deadline had already passed, since the jail had been holding my mail, I'm sure you would have convinced them to let you stay, Chad. I mean, as Lady in Gray points out, it's a bit telling that the church leaders didn't visit him in jail to at least tell him he needed to tell the truth and do the right thing. I agree. But I think they were just like, oh boy, this is not good. It's not good for us. This is all bad. Very, very bad. Not great. We're just going to be like, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see between him and Lori and the others that are involved too, that were also, members of the churches, and however it works. I'm not very sure. Hold on. Okay, where was I? I've still never found out what evidence was presented in the disciplinary council or who testified against me. It's probably the probable cause affidavit, probably did it. Probably, finding children's dead bodies on your land, buried in your land. Your body's wife being exhumed, showing asphyxiation. So probably that. Oh, and then you got remarried to crazy ass Lori Vallow. So I think there was some evidence here. I think there was a lot that wasn't going to make them look good. Now, the church scriptures known as the Doctrine and Covenants explains excommunication procedures in depth. Section 102, verse 18 reads, holy crap. In all cases, the accuser and the accused shall have a privilege of speaking for themselves before the council. That obviously didn't happen in my situation. I would love to know what transpired in the meeting, but the church has resisted my efforts to obtain the records. Yeah. But can you believe that? Can you believe that misbehaving? Oh, crazy. I readily admit I have many flaws and weaknesses that I am striving to overcome, but I am not guilty of the great sins attributed to me. The thought of associating with apostate groups or teaching false doctrine is absurd to me. Please, at least let me know the specific doctrines I was supposedly teaching. Who are my accusers? When and where did I say these things? Sir. Okay. So, for those reasons, I still consider myself an active member of the LDS Church. My excommunication process didn't follow scriptural guidelines, and apparently no effort was made to verify I had received the notification letters. At the very least, I deserved a chance to talk to a church leader in person and answer any accusations of misconduct. I have never felt a decrease in my priesthood power or a loss of influence of the Holy Ghost. I have actually felt an increase in those areas, you don't fucking say, which has been a great comfort and blessing as I deal with my current circumstances. I fully support the LDS's church's first presidency and the quorum of the 12 apostles. I follow their teachings, and I am working out my own salvation through the power and grace of the atonement of Jesus Christ, my Savior. In conclusion, let me return to Elder Hansen, my first missionary companion. When he heard the news that Tammy had passed away, he canceled his busy schedule and rushed from Colorado to Springville in time for her viewing and funeral. When I saw him walk into the viewing room, my heart filled with gratitude and appreciation for this great man. As he came through the viewing line, we embraced, and I knew one of my true brothers in Christ was there to support me. We took a few moments to catch up, and he humbly told me he was serving as an LDS stake president. I wish he had been mine. Okay. Okay, Lady in Great says the world now knows what you are teaching, Potato Head, right? There were many things that Chad was spouting that are actually not part of the LDS doctrine, I guess. I don't know. I'll be honest. That stuff really confuses me and I don't get it. But I do know for a fact, like the whole zombies, light, dark, weird shit is not a part of it. So savage. Well, I consider myself a multi-billionaire, but the bank just disagrees. I'm confused. He's so confused. Why he's kicked out of the church, you guys? He doesn't understand. He wasn't given a fair shot. More heartache and bad stuff happening to Chad, and he doesn't know why. All right, I'm going to go let Zoe out again. I'll be right back. All right. I think it might be time to get Zoe a doggy door if she could use it. If she could figure out to use it, probably not. She's not smart. Miss Behaven says, so if anyone believed he was a prophet, crazy rantings while in prison, could anyone imagine the next book of the Bible called Chad? No, I mean, these are letters are clearly rife with, he's going to try to get followers again, including in prison, wherever he can, because not only is he already persecuted, what is happening? Not only is he being persecuted, but just for being Mormon in the first place, but even more so now because he's in death row. He's been excommunicated from the church. You guys, he's probably like, I'm just like Jesus, you guys. I built a bookshelf, okay? I'm a carpenter too. God, he's the worst. All right, speaking of bookshelf, we're on the bookshelf portion. Oh boy. I have had a lot of heroes in my life, often from the world of sports, because, yeah, okay, real heroes. I've always been a fan of BYU's basketball and football teams, and I was in my early teens when the Cougars were really hitting their stride. Oh, yay, sports. Okay. Danny Ainge, I don't know if that's right, led the basketball team to the NCAA Elite Eight, and the quarterback factory kept churning out superstars such as Jim McMahon and Steve Young, who would both lead NFL teams to Super Bowl victories. But my ultimate hero is Joseph Smith, parentheses, after Jesus, of course, in parentheses. Okay. When Joseph was an obscure teenage farm boy, an angel appeared to him and told him his name would be known for good and evil among all nations. Persecution intensified against him and his family, and it never let up the rest of his life. Oh, so this mofo thinks he's fucking John Smith. Okay, knew it, called it. Supposedly, friends repeatedly betrayed him, and he endured dozens of arrests on false charges, spending many months in dark, damp, squalid jails. Yet he somehow maintained a positive attitude and accomplished incredible feats. He translated the Book of Mormon from ancient records and founded the Church of Jesus of Latter-day Saints. He revealed many profound internal truths and designed new cities, yet made time to raise a good family and care for his church members. Sadly, his persecutors finally succeeded in their goal when Joseph was brutally murdered at age 38 by an angry mob that stormed the jail in Carthage, Illinois. The church has published a 4-volume history titled Saints, and the first volume covers the life of Joseph Smith. The book reads like a novel, but it is all true. If you want to read about a great American hero, give Saints Volume 1 a try. You'll also gain an appreciation for the pioneers who later crossed the plains and established Salt Lake City in the middle of a wilderness. I will not be reading that. I mean, the worst thing, oh, yeah, right? Yeah, no, Chad is crazy. And look at him. He's like, look at how close and similar me and Joseph Smith are. We're like basically the same, obviously. Oh, yeah, no. Crazy comes in all shapes, sizes, every religion. You got your extremists and everything. I made that announcement earlier. I'm not bashing anybody's faith, anything, but I will when it comes to Chad because he's full of shit. Okay? He's full of shit. And he is a murderer and on death row. And all you need to do is remember what he did, well, what he helped be a part of regarding the children and what was done to them. So fuck him. I plan on offending him as much as possible. Because he is offensive to me with his bullshit. All right. Musical notes, guys. Musical notes. All right. When I was an LDS missionary in the late 1980s, in case you guys didn't know, he was a missionary, in case you guys didn't know that. We weren't allowed to own electronics, especially radios. According to the missionary handbook, popular music could potentially drive away the spirit. Okay. That might be true, but in the big cities of northern New Jersey, missionaries didn't need a radio. We were literally surrounded by every type of music. As we walked along the main boulevards, the traffic would cruise past us at a decent speed, but it felt like we were listening to one continuous radio broadcast because every vehicle was blasting the same station. Over and over, we heard broadcasting from the top of the Empire State Building. You're listening to Z100. Sorry, that's my radio voice. I don't know why I did that, but I did. Sometimes it seemed like Z100 had captured 100% of the listening audience. About 2 weeks after I arrived in New Jersey, and shortly after my humbling experience described in the letter, Elder Hansen and I were invited to attend a wedding. It was for a couple that Elder Hansen had known earlier in the mission and would take place in Jersey City. President Workman granted us permission to attend as long as church members gave us a ride to and from the wedding. I was excited because I hadn't yet been able to see the Manhattan skyline up close. Elder Hansen said we would be a few blocks from the Hudson River with a nice view of the Twin Towers. Not saying that Chad cursed it, but I bet he did. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's a joke. Elder Hansen had arranged for a young couple from the Jersey City ward to pick us up outside our Patterson apartment. My eyes nearly popped out of my head as a very fancy sports car pulled to a stop in front of us. Elder Hansen smiled at me and said, "Climb on in." We were both tall, so it was a tight squeeze for us in the small back seat, but we were soon zooming down the freeway, and I was eagerly soaking in the sights. I enjoyed seeing Giant Stadium for the first time, and I listened in as Elder Hansen chatted with the man who was driving. Then we got closer to Jersey City. The woman in the passenger seat said, "Sorry to interrupt, but I love this song." She turned up the volume on the car's excellent sound system because it's 1987, so I bet it was excellent. And I recognized the voice of Whitney Houston, who had dominated the airwaves throughout 1986 and 1987. Which song do you think, Whitney Houston song do you think is going to be? Oh, can't wait to find out. But this song was new to me after having been sequestered in the missionary training center throughout the summer. The woman began dancing happily in her seat and started singing along animatedly. There we go, animatedly. It was quite a show. Then, when she reached the chorus, a lasting memory was imprinted in my brain. I get so emotional, baby, every time I think of you. I get so emotional, baby. Ain't it shocking what love can do? I don't know what song that's from. And also, I can't hear music in my head. So that's just to my own whatever. At that moment, I caught a good glimpse of the tops of some Manhattan skyscrapers, including the Empire State Building. Suddenly, I was the one getting so emotional. It was the equivalent of a spiritual experience as we entered Jersey City, where I would be transferred a couple months later. In this city, I would later meet amazing people and witness literal healing miracles. But in that instant, I just basked in the wonderful realization that it was possible to have fun, joyful experiences on a mission and throughout our lives. So, there it is. So whether you like that song or not, I consider Whitney Houston's "So Emotional" to be a sacred hymn. I don't expect it to be included in the new LDS hymn book, but it would certainly add some life to our sacrament meetings. By the way, if you happen to cross paths with some LDS missionaries, please give them a smile and a wave. It just might be what they need. You'll make their day. And don't throw apples, guys. Apples are expensive. Oh, bye, Dave. I hope to see you tonight. We're having a party, remember. All right, you guys, we got one more letter. One more. I'm going to go let my pesky dogs back inside real quick. And we will continue. Actually, I'm going to use the bathroom too real quick. So give me 3 or 4 minutes, okay? All right, be right back.
Well, isn't Llama going to be surprised when she comes back and she's like, "Oh my God, where did you come from?" Here and stuff for the party tonight. And I saw that Llama needed to go take care of the pups again. So I was like, you know what? You're dressed, you're ready for midday missing. So why not pop on? Um, So Kelly P says, has anyone ever been watching YouTube video and texting someone at the same time and accidentally responded in a text what you meant to say in chat? Yes, Kelly. Yes, yes, yes. And what's sad is last time I did it, it was to somebody for the county, and it was should have been a professional response, and it wasn't. So yes, guys, I have to tell y'all, you really, if you can, you're going to want to join tonight because it's going to be, and I'm going to have to put on my glasses so I can see. I'm going to just tell you guys, I'm not a fan of the glasses. Yes, they help me be able to see things. They're not all blurry. I'm not a fan of the look. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the look, but I'm trying to get used to them. But we have some amazing stuff that we're going to share with you guys tonight. And she's back. She's back. What is she going to say? She's going to be like, this is my show. Why you show up? Why you just come from nowhere and pop on? Thank you, Kelly. Well,
Oh, look
I
who's
could
back on
see her.
here.
I know. I'm like, I could see her in the background, guys. You couldn't. She didn't look and go, oh, shit. She actually laughed and smiled.
I did. Why would I not?
No, Belle, you do not have to be a member tonight to join.
Yeah, no.
No.
It's open for everybody. It's a celebration
It's
tonight.
open for everybody. Thank you for telling me I look great in glasses. I'm still not loving them. And you love the background?
It's even more pink than it was the other day.
It's a different one. I had to buy a bigger one.
Okay, so
I had to get a
all
different
right.
brand.
I was like,
So
maybe I need
now
glasses.
Double H is like, how many backdrops does a girl need?
All of them, Double H.
I'm like,
all of them.
But yeah, I'm struggling with the glasses.
Oh, I think they look great.
Well, it's, guys, y'all are going to laugh. It's my peripheral that's seeing out of the side and it looks different. At times, it startles me. So,
oh, well, you'll get used to it. The brain's funny like that. Just needs some time to zone them out.
I was just telling them they definitely need to join tonight because there is some great stuff happening tonight.
There's some super great stuff happening tonight. And we've even kept it all a secret from our staff. It's just me, Terry, and Amy that knows what's actually going down, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but that's how it's going. So, but yes, 7 p.m. tonight, our merch and membership launch party.
Now that's 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
6 p.m. Terry time.
Terry time. Yes. We don't even do Central. It's now Terry time.
I know. I've ordered a new clock because I have Texas time and then I have Finland time. I've ordered a third clock and the label's going to say Llama time.
Llama time. I love that. I love that.
So, Belle, real quick, when the dresses come in, I ordered 2, 4, and 5, I think. When they come in, I'm actually going to record me trying them on and get y'all to help me pick which one I'm going to wear. No, you will not have to see me naked. Do not worry about that. Nobody needs to see that.
I mean, if it helps get views and clicks, I don't know what you...
This is not OnlyFans. And Terry's just going to go out there and say, I'm still wearing a surgical bra. I still have another 2.5 months of that. And if I was to take that off, you don't want to see those scars. You don't. It's not pretty. So.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm super excited for tonight. I
am too, but I just popped on because you were taking care of the dogs again. And I was sitting here working.
That's fine. You can hang out with us. How are you feeling about these Chad Daybell letters so far?
I mean, I think he gives Mormons a bad name. And that's why I put that on there about Catherine's mom, because I have another friend, Callie, who is still actively Mormon. Mm-hmm. They are some of the nicest people. When I lived in Vegas, they were so great because I would do stuff with my friend Callie's ward, is what they call their little group. They didn't try to recruit me. They knew that I was Catholic, but that I loved Callie. I respected their wishes, but I will tell you, I went to one of those, I forget what you call them. They're like the sexy parties you have at home that was like Tupperware.
Oh my gosh. They talked about them in Brooke's fantasy parties or whatever.
Like that, where they came, but they sell like lubes and lingerie and stuff to sit up in the bedroom. I went to that with them. I learned things I did not know. And mind you, I am on my 3rd marriage. And I learned things about the bedroom that I did not know from these women that do not drink. And I told them, I said, thank God y'all don't drink, because if y'all drink alcohol, y'all would be unhinged. But what I loved is they were so welcoming to me and things. And then when that's where our youngest got jumped and his jaw broke in, the traumatic brain injury. These women I met once or twice at get-togethers like that. They all reached out to me, came by my house, dropped off food, just being neighborly, even though I wasn't Mormon.
Oh, yeah.
And so I hate that Chad and Lori, because I mentioned their names the other day to somebody and they're like, oh, yeah, you want to stay away from that religion. No, guys, they were not your normal Mormons.
Yeah, they were batshit crazy.
They were. But I think if he continues doing these letters, I think you've got to read them all, because he is still trying to sell his shit.
He is.
And he does not take accountability.
Not at all.
And
not at all.
I mean, I'm not a murderer. Is that what he said? I'm not a murderer.
Yeah, he's never killed anybody.
Then how did children's bodies wind up in your backyard, sir?
I know. It's just crazy. I don't know. I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear about. And see, here's the thing too, is I wonder if he's even going to say anything, because he is filing appeals. So what are you going to say, Chad?
I mean,
I don't know.
His chance of appeals are very slim in my book.
Oh, yeah.
Soaking is the best LDS practice.
Oh my God, Terry, don't.
Oh, I'm like, go and Google it.
Oh, okay. You're about to learn something today. Terry, thanks, Michael.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
I'm glad we get to all watch this in real time.
Um, that's called intercourse. Okay, I'm gonna have to text my friend Callie and say, how come I never heard of this?
Well, it's a thing. So it's a thing.
Okay,
Mhm.
I forgot. I should always Google things that I see in chat before I put them on the screen or say them out loud because
I
this
mean,
group is unhinged. You guys,
but
and
in like
I
the best way.
love everything about it.
Right.
Okay, misbehaving in Florida. I am one of the unpopular opinions about Gypsy.
Mm.
And the reason I say that is because I do not think she had a chance in hell of being normal after the way her mom raised her and things that were done to her.
Hmm.
I do still think they were right to hold her accountable for what she did do.
Hmm.
But I think when you've lived with that kind of trauma your whole life, you will do whatever it takes to get out of it.
Well, and then she was raised by the prison, so
Yeah.
it's not great.
She
Not
is in
great.
therapy though.
Oh.
But yeah. So yeah, thank you for me learning what that meant because I thought it was something I could do in my bubble bath. Okay.
Oh, I
Well, when
mean,
I
you
saw soaking,
can.
I thought it was going to be like the cold dips that my fins do.
Uh,
So I thought it was going to be something like that, or you add roses to the water, or you
I
add
mean, you
olive
can.
oil.
You can do that too, I guess. So
Gypsy should be in prison the same as her boyfriend. Sorry, not sorry.
that's okay.
As a person, let me try to think of how to say this. As a person, because we're way off topic, who was molested as a child and lived in the home with an alcoholic father who molested me, I can see how you would do something to get out of that situation when you don't think you can tell somebody and that no one's going to help you.
Mm.
So if that makes sense, not condoning what she did. But
You're just saying you think how you can see how she
I
got
can
there.
empathize. And I mean, she could have killed herself. I mean, there was times I thought about it. So, Lady in Gray, I agree. I don't think he should still be in prison. I think he should have gotten a much lighter sentence. I do think she manipulated him. But I do think Chad Daybell is a weirdo. And I want to know if he has started preaching in prison.
Oh, well, I mean, he's on death row, so he
I
doesn't
know,
really get to
but
leave his
those
cell
people
very much. But
they need it too.
I'm sure he is every chance he gets, even if he's like outside in the yard for his 1 hour or security guard. See, I think that the reason for these letters too is to get more people to like, hi Sheena, to get more people to contact him while he's in prison for money to have them, start things. I do not trust this at all. He is a grifter.
Yeah.
He's a con man. He always has been.
Okay.
A zebra doesn't change their stripes, I guess is what I'm saying, like.
Wow. I'm going to just say shame on our new person who popped in, Sheena, because all I'm hearing in my head is Sheena, what's her name? Isn't that part of a song? I don't know what song it goes to, but when I saw that on screen, I went, and Sheena, what's her name? Okay.
I don't know what song you're referring to, but probably. All
Yeah.
right. Well, shall we get into letter 5,
Yes.
the last letter? You gonna hang out with us while we do it? Yes.
Yes, because I am all ready for midday missing. So,
Excellent. I even have us rerouted. So after we're done here, it'll take people right to Midday Missing, which is going to
oh,
be
yay.
live in like 40 minutes. So, all right. Well, let's get into this letter because it's our last one for today. So I'm sure it's going to be great. So far, it's been great. Was it Tone Loke's Wild Thing
That's what it is. Wild
or Funky
thing.
Cold
Yep.
Medina?
That or Funky Cold Medina. It's one of his.
Sheena rhymes with Medina. Sorry, Sheena. This isn't personal. We're just like,
No,
let's
it's
talk about
not.
her name.
Let's just all, I have ADD. It's like a shiny ball. It just pops up every now and then.
We're just super excited and unfocused today because we're excited about the party tonight. So, all right, you guys, letter 5. Let's get into this BS. Some more, please. Okay. I'm eager to explain the events of 2019 to you, but it is very important that I first build a solid foundation of facts. Oh, really? Okay. Let's go, Chad. Let's build this foundation.
I want to hear this.
Of your house of cards, shall we? Once these facts and my religious beliefs are properly explained, the events of 2019 will finally make sense. Okay. Okay. All right, sir. We are here for that. Let's go. Okay. Oh, there's just the end, which you know about Tone Loke. Wow thing. Okay. All right. During my court trial, I was bothered at how simple, well-known beliefs were twisted by the state into sinister, frightening ideas that the state repurposed, claiming these ideas were the catalyst for terrible crimes I did not commit. Oh, wow. Okay. Time after time, it was the state who defined what my religious beliefs are, not the witness on the stand. I mean, you could have gone out there and said things, Sean. Just saying. As I read through the trial transcript, it is even more obvious on paper. The state repeatedly made inaccurate statements in the form of questions, and the witness would get into the rhythm of saying yes or correct many times in a row without hesitation. Oh, so and that's suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay. The result was a distortion of my beliefs, and I think an incomplete picture or half story of what the witnesses actually heard or saw. And unfortunately, my lawyer failed to fill in those blanks on cross-examination. Again, this is for his life. He is on a death row trial. It's for his life, right? And he's like, well, my lawyer just didn't do a good. Like, what? Come on. So I felt it is best to begin by sharing with you my near-death experiences. Oh, here we go, guys. Buckle up if you don't know these. Buckle up. Which have had very significant impacts on my life. There have been 4 times in my life when I've actually died and my spirit has gone into another realm before returning to my body. 4 times, you guys. That's I'm sorry, but like what? Okay. Like, because that happens.
Okay.
Now, the LDS Church teaches that a human being consists of 2 parts, a spirit body and a physical body. The spirit body resides inside the physical body and gives it life. When we die, the spirit and the body separate from each other. The spirit continues to live and goes into the spirit world while the body ceases to function. For example, picture your spirit as your hand and your body as a glove. The glove is just a covering, and it can't move without your hand inside of it. Okay. A near-death experience, or NED, NDE is like when the hand is briefly removed from the glove and then put back inside. Okay. NDEs can be found in historical records dating back thousands of years among all races, nations, and religions. They have been part of LDS lore since the church was founded, and NDEs were regularly printed in the church's newspapers and magazines. Now, I want to make another thing very clear, all right? I am not mocking anyone who may have had one of these near-death experiences, okay?
Right.
It's something I don't really care about it. I'm not mocking any of you who may have experienced that are listening. It's weird, all right? We don't understand everything, okay? But I am going to mock him because he said he had 4 of these things and he's full of shit, all right? We all know he is. So I'm not talking about y'all out there. We're just talking about Chad, okay? Many NDEs indicate, as LDS doctrine confirms, that before we were born, we lived as part of a heavenly family. We were eager for the chance to come to earth and receive a physical body. We understood it would be a challenging experience, but that our time on earth would help us grow emotionally and spiritually. We all helped write our own life plan or blueprint for what we would accomplish during our lives, who we would interact with, and when our life would end. If this is the case, I have some words for Spirit Llama, okay? Because we should have been more specific about some things, okay? Just saying. Most near-death experiences occur when someone dies, but it isn't their time to go. They are sent back into their body to complete their life mission. My first near-death experience was rather short, but it's had a profound effect on me. I bet it was an apple being thrown at his head. Oh. It was August 1985, and I just turned 17. I was at Flaming George Reservoir in northern Utah as part of a church youth group that included several of my friends. We had started the day by leaping into the reservoir from cliff edges along the lake shore that were about 20 feet high. This is not good decision making here.
No.
That was fun, but then we noticed a 60-foot high cliff that jetted out over the water. It looked like a natural diving board. Oh my God. So this is the total mom quote. Well, if your friends jumped off a cliff, would you? Let's see what Chad does. Okay. We saw someone jump off it, and soon we were scrambling up the hillside to reach it. Once we got up there and saw how high it truly was, we were intimidated, but we were also stupid teenagers. My friends convinced me I should jump first. I shook off my nervousness and gazed down at the water below me. Finally, I pushed off with my right foot and began my descent. I remember thinking, this is taking a really long time. It's like 2 seconds. When I eventually hit the water, it felt like I had slammed into concrete. Yeah. A shock went through my entire body, and I saw a flash of white light. I felt an audible pop at the base of my skull, and I thought, oh no, I broke my neck. I also wondered if I'd cut open my forehead because there was a brief searing pain above my eyes. I mean,
Okay.
maybe it's a concussion. I don't know, but okay. I quickly realized something even more alarming had happened. My spirit was partially out of my body.
Okay.
The best way to describe it is that my physical body went deeper into the water than my spirit did. like in what is it, Doctor Strange, when she like pulls the spirit like out of his body. Marvel fans, you know what I'm talking about. That's what I imagine. The best way to, oh wait, I already said that part. This caused my spirit to pop out through my head, but with my spirit's knees stuck in my skull. What? Why does your spirit have knees? Okay.
Okay.
This caused my spirit. Oh, I already read that part. In other words, for some reason, I didn't make it all the way out of my body. It was more like 3/4 out. Guys.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. All right. It's fun. Fun, fun, fun. Okay. During those few moments, I was in another dimension. I saw an endless white plain in all directions, and I heard a deep, rich melody that sounded like a synthesizer. You guys, they have
Okay.
synthesizers in the spirit world. As I pondered the music later, it was very similar to a song called 1984 that opens Van Halen's 1984 album. Because that's what's playing in the spirit world. Okay. 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 All right. This song is an instrumental that is just over a minute long, and it definitely has the same uplifting, rich, heavenly sound that I heard while out of my body. I noticed the pain was gone that I had initially experienced. There was a soothing warmth surrounding me, and I saw little pellets of light and energy rushing towards me from all directions. These pellets were absorbed by my spirit, and I felt wonderful, even euphoric, and at complete peace. However, my physical body soon started to float towards the surface. My spirit quickly reversed course through my head and was sucked back into place. Oh, okay. I instantly felt chilled and somewhat paralyzed. I must have taken a while getting to the surface because one of my friends who had been standing on the shore had jumped into the water to rescue me. He grabbed hold of me and towed me to the water's edge. All I said to him was, "Something snapped when I hit the surface. I'm done for the day." After I returned home from Flaming Gorge, sorry, it just makes me laugh. How am I supposed to take that meme seriously?
I don't know.
Ugh, Flaming George. And when you put it in the context of just the sentence, after I returned home from Flaming Gorge, my entire body was sore for a week. I bet it was. I bet it was. I felt off kilter, like my body and spirit were disjointed. Sometimes my right eye would go blind, but if I hit the side of my head with my palm, I could see again. You guys, his eyes are just like old Nintendos. You just bump it on the top and it fixes it. Okay. He's also a spiritual doctor, apparently. So, on the other hand, I was spiritually changed. I'd glimpsed another dimension where it's all white and they play Van Halen. That's not included. I just made that up. I'd glimpsed another dimension and it had felt like home. I still lived a normal life, graduating from Springville High and then completing my freshman year at BYU Provo. Then, during my LDS mission, certain spiritual gifts increased. Oh, I'm sure they did. I was better able to receive promptings and impressions that helped keep me out of danger, except not for everyone around you, coincidentally. As I mentioned earlier, I have died 4 times. I will describe the second incident in the next letter. Ooh. It happened while I was on vacation with my family in San Diego, California. I was struck by a large wave at La Jolla Cave and was not completely knocked out of my body this time. I really needed to stay out of the water. Sir. Okay. So again, he doesn't get knocked out of his body the same way. It's in water. He can just pop his eye back, cure blindness, apparently. Don't take Chad's advice. That doesn't work. All right, let's see what his book suggestion's gonna be in this letter, shall we? In the 1970s, several scientists and researchers began to study modern day reports of near death experiences, or NDEs, in case you haven't picked up what that stands for the last 18 times he's put it in the letter. Dr. Raymond Moody's book, Life After Life, compiled several of these accounts and brought NDEs to the attention of the general public. At around the same time, Dr. George Ritchie wrote a fascinating first person account of his death, his journey into another realm, and then his return to his body. The book is Return from Tomorrow and has sold millions of copies worldwide. I wonder if Chad just noticed a trend and was like, I can write books too. These books, with others like them, have helped people believe in an afterlife where we will reunite with our deceased family members, friends, and even pets. I recently became aware of an NDE that happened to Jeremy Renner, the famous actor who plays the character Hawkeye in the Marvel Avengers movie. You keep Jeremy Renner's name out your mouth, Chad. Out. He's also in his own show, Hawkeye. Ugh. As you know, well, he probably wouldn't know that because he's been in jail, and you don't get Disney Plus in jail, apparently. So, as you likely know, Renner was involved in a devastating accident on New Year's Day 2023 when he attempted to stop a snowplow from hitting his nephew. Renner suffered severe injuries with more than 30 broken bones. His recovery took many months, including having to learn how to walk again. He has written a book titled My Next Breath about his ordeal. Renner also shared his story on an episode of Kelly Ripa's Let's Talk podcast. Oh, I bet Jeremy Renner's publicist is just like, fuck us. Damn it. Stop talking about us. He explained to her that during the incident, he felt his spirit leave his body. He said, it's a wonderful, wonderful relief to be removed from your body. It's the most exhilarating peace you could ever feel. He added, it's the highest adrenaline rush, but the peace that comes with it is magnificent. It's so magical. Chad, you jumped off a cliff into water. Okay? This man had a 2-ton vehicle on top of his legs. You are not the same, sir.
Not the same.
And look how he's attaching himself to a public, respectful figure. Look, we're one and the same, guys. You guys see these tactics? You should be. It's called leader tactics, you guys. Renner didn't really want to return to his body, and he was actually a bit angry about it. He saw his damaged legs and thought, yeah, that's gonna hurt later. Renner was only in the afterlife for a few minutes, but the experience was a great confirmation to him about what is really important in life. He says the experience taught him to repel the things he had given so much value to before, and that he now sees as having zero value. He said he now invests his energy into love and his relationships with others. These books I've mentioned, as well as movies such as fucking get out of here, Chad. Shut up. Okay. You guys prepare yourselves. These books I've mentioned, as well as movies such as Ghost and The Sixth Sense, have helped to make your near-death experiences and the reality of an afterlife an accepted part of American culture. Shut up. I mean, I love Ghost as much as the next person, but sir, in The Sixth Sense, oh my God. Yes, you guys. Good thing you didn't watch Lost, right? Now talk about, but we can't, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about dope. Our few hours of non-lost time, I guess. I know, right? Isn't that ridiculous? Okay. All right, you guys. Now it's his musical notes. He's dropped his fave books, his fave TV, one of his fave actors. Let's see what he has to say about music in this letter. Musical notes. All major religions believe in a divine being, a higher power, or a heavenly father. The LDS Church takes that concept to the next level by teaching that we are all part of an eternal family, and we are the literal spirit children of heavenly parents. Okay. I hope that idea is comforting to you. Oh, what song are we going to guess? Is it going to be We Are Family? Please be We Are Family. Chat, wrong answers only. What is his song suggestion going to be for this? All right. There are times when we feel alone, of course, but be assured our heavenly family members are always nearby. The LDS doctrine of a heavenly mother was first taught by the prophet Joseph Smith, no relation to Chad. Don't confuse the two. He knows it's easy. A woman named Zena D. Young, who would later serve as the LDS Church's General Relief Society president, was deeply saddened by the death of her mother. Zena spoke to Joseph about her intense grief and asked him, "Will I know my mother as my mother when I get over to the other side?" Joseph responded, "Certainly you will. More than that, you will meet and become acquainted with your eternal mother, the wife of your Father in heaven." Among the people that Joseph taught this doctrine to was Eliza R. Snow. She was well known for her poetry. She had published many poems prior to her baptism into the church in 1835. Excuse me. And she wrote more throughout her life. Eliza wrote a poem about this topic of heavenly parents in 1845 titled My Father in Heaven. The poem was soon transformed into the hymn, "Oh My Father," and was included in the 1851 LDS hymn book. Okay. In 1855, the Deseret, I think that's Deseret, okay. The Deseret News reported it was Brigham Young's favorite hymn. Oh, the hymn has been sung by LDS congregations ever since, but the powerful lyrics are often taken for granted. Yeah, you dum-dums, how dare you not appreciate this? They cover the entire LDS plan of salvation, such as our premortal spirit life, the veil of forgetfulness when we come to earth, the purpose of life, and their return after death to our loving heavenly parents. Here are the hymn's 4 verses. Okay, you guys, so we're just getting some hymns. I'm not even going to pretend. We'll just do it as a poem. Okay. O my Father, thou that dwellest in the high and glorious place, when shall I regain thy presence and again behold thy face? In thy holy habitation did my spirit once reside. In my first primeval childhood was I nurtured near thy side. For a wise and glorious purpose, that's what Loki said, thou hast placed me here on earth, and without the recollection of my former friends and birth. Yet oft times a secret something whispered, "You're a stranger here." And I felt that I had wandered from a more exalted sphere. I had learned to call thee Father through thy spirit from on high, but until the key of knowledge was restored, I knew not why. And that in the heavens are parents single? No, the thought makes reason to stare. Truth is reason, truth eternal, tells me I've a mother there. When I leave this frail existence, when I lay this mortal by, Father, Mother, may I meet you in your royal courts on high. Then at length, when I've completed all you sent me forth to do, with your mutual approbation, let me come and dwell with you. Light poem, reading claps. Oh, wait, no, that's not how they do slam poetry. Snaps. I forgot they snap. That's what they do. Is that a moth? What's a moth doing in here?
It's trying to get out of the cold.
It's warm.
Oh, is it warm?
Okay. It is truly a tender poem. This is Chad writing again. We're done with that. It is truly a tender poem expressing the longing we feel to be embraced again by our heavenly parents. I hope we can follow their example. We are here on earth to build each other up, help each other along, and be a positive influence regardless of our current earthly situation. Right. I'm sure you're going to be a popular influence in Death Row Chad. Money, fame, and power don't matter. Okay. All of your guys as motivators for what you did, but okay. Charity, love, and kindness are the keys to joy and happiness in this life and the world to come. Okay, Chad. Well, I'm glad we're done with you today. That's for sure. That's for sure. Wow, you guys. Wow. I was not disappointed.
I
just
just
let
say,
you all know.
I'm not disappointed.
I have been having the best time reading his nonsense.
Lori was writing letters too.
What's that?
I wish Lori was writing letters too.
I mean, I don't know. I'd be like, bitch, I will make a website for you to put all your crazy shit on. Like now. I'm just kidding. No, I think that what an adventure as well.
I wonder if we write him letters, if he'll write us back.
Maybe, but it probably is going to include a donation or something.
I can send him $1.
I mean, he's got time. He's got time. So he tells us, I'm going to be truthful with y'all. We're going to talk about the event. What letter number do you think that? Because I don't know what the whole fucking point of his 2 out of 4 near-death experiences that weren't even. I mean, I guess maybe, but not really. It sounds bogus to me. I think he likes to make up stories and he liked the attention that he got and it made him feel special. He loves feeling special.
I mean, he's special, all right.
Just not the way that he wants to be. I can't wait to hear more bullshit from him. I really can't. I love I've got spirit money. Can you imagine if he had a podcast? Kelly, remember, they had a podcast. They had one. Don't you remember? Him and Lori would be on there, and one of the Melanies, I can't remember which one, because like everybody's name is fucking Melanie, apparently. But they had a podcast before, a whole year, maybe not. I don't remember.
Get me to line.
Oh, in prison, I know, right? Ugh. That's okay. I don't need to hear his voice. I actually like the fact that I can make it sound however I want. And he can do nothing to stop me. So I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lady and Grace. See, you notice Chad said he wants to be special. Okay, he really does. But when he was talking about Tammy, he talked about all these things that Tammy was that he wasn't. All the things she was good at. She was good at learning instruments. She was good at singing. She was good at running books. He didn't really talk about stuff he's good at yet, like at all, except that he's being persecuted like Joseph Smith and Jesus. And he built a bookshelf. So far, his biggest accomplishment in 5 letters is his ability to build a bookshelf in middle school. So really knocking it out of the park, Chad. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you.
You do.
And we can laugh and laugh and laugh.
I mean, he is the gift that keeps on giving.
BK. He's not, though. He's not hanging out with Brian Koberger. Brian Koberger got life. Chad's on death row. So they do not see each other at all. Which, I mean, yes, it would have been interesting, those two being on death row together. But he got life without parole. So he's not there. And maybe they'll see each other through portals. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, that was fun. That was very, very fun. I think maybe once a month, I'll keep an eye when new letters come. Once we get to, a couple letters to make a show of it, we'll read again. So he said, when did he say again? Hold on. Let me look at his about section. We learned about new bands. We learned a lot of stuff about each other today, I feel. He's planning them for every Monday and Thursday.
Okay. So there will definitely be enough for you to do monthly.
And that there will. We might have to be bi-monthly.
Might have to
It took me
be
like 3 hours to read 5 letters.
might need to be bi-monthly.
I know, right? Whatever, worth it. I hate this guy. He is just the fucking worst, and I hate him so much. Maybe we should. Maybe we should. Well, you guys, before we wrap up, we got Midday Missing right after this with Terry True Crime. She's going to be doing that. You guys will just be transported right over. I set up a good portal. All right. We have good portals here, not a Chad Daybell portal. No, just regular.
Yeah, let's not do that
regular
kind
normal
of portal.
portals. You can catch Terry covering 2 cases today to help spread the word on social media and hopefully get some answers. And then tonight, let's do one more plug for tonight because I'm very excited.
Tonight's going to be so freaking exciting.
I'm very excited about it. It's our merch and membership launch party.
Yes.
And I'm very excited.
It is. I mean,
everyone.
There is.
There's going to be giveaways aplenty. Now, the only way that you can win in the giveaway is by showing up.
Yep.
Showing up to the stream, be in chat. Even if you're not a regular chatter or lurker, that's okay.
Right.
You can still participate in chat. You don't have to be a member. Just subscribe, all that stuff. And we are going to have a party tonight, y'all. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. What else you got, Terry?
I'm just so excited about tonight. I just want to fast forward to tonight.
Not yet, because I still have a bunch of stuff I need to do for it. But laws. I've had a weekend. Now, as for Couch Court, you guys, I will be back for Couch Court Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern for the sentencing of Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson, who were found guilty of the murder of Crystal Rogers. So we finally get to put an ending to that case. It's probably going to be emotional. I imagine a lot of Crystal's family is going to talk since it's Brooks, who's her former. If you guys don't know anything about Crystal Rogers, okay, go to our Crystal Rogers list. You will learn everything you need to know about that and these trials. And it's a doozy. It's a doozy. So that's what we'll be doing next for Couch Court. But yeah.
And then Thursday night, we have a really exciting, fun true crime and wine time.
Yes. Oh, I just channeled that lady from the Cardi B trial. Or Donna Adelson trial, I mean. Yes. Yes. Yeah, tell us about that. I'm excited about it.
I mean, I don't want to give too much away because everybody's going to know what it is. We're just going to say there's going to be fungi.
Oh, we already told them. We've already posted
the
thumbnambell and everything. We've already scheduled the stream.
Well, then what do I need to say?
We're
talking about the killer fungi lady.
Erin Patterson, the Australian murderer who poisoned some people with some mushrooms. It's so good, you guys. I'm so excited about it.
Should I do mushrooms for the show Thursday night?
No, Terry. No, you should not.
I have the little micro-dosing ones.
Well, I mean, that's up to you.
I'm going to leave it up to chat. If chat thinks I should, just drop it in the chat, yes or no.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And then Friday is our premiere of TMI, our new show. It's going to be for members only, except for the first Friday of every month. But tonight at the party, you're going to see the opening, the intro video. We're going to tell you more about it. So again, find the stream for tonight. Click the notification bell so you get notified when we go live because you don't want to miss it. So I am so excited about all the things.
I know we have so much going on.
I've had to
so everybody says I've gotten 2 yeses, and then I've been said I need to share.
Do it. I love that. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to sign off. Terry's got to go get ready for Midday Missing, and I will see you all later tonight. Until next time, my friends, go forth and be amazing. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.